What is up, guys? So today we will talk about the TBC Prepatch, and to be even more specific, we will be talking about things you need to know for the TBC Prepatch. At this point, it's only about a week until the actual launch of the TBC Prepatch, so you will want to be as prepared as possible and know exactly what will happen, as well as the possibilities you have in the Prepatch itself. So let's get into it. First of all, the very first thing you should know, if you somehow don't know it yet, is that the Prepatch will be launching on the 18th of May. The Prepatch itself will only last for exactly 2 weeks unless Blizzard suddenly changes their mind and delays the launch of TBC itself, which in theory could happen, but is very unlikely at this point. Now, before we talk about the contents of the Prepatch itself, I want to talk about the first thing you will do when logging in after the Prepatch, and that is deciding where to go. Pretty much when the Prepatch becomes available, you will be presented with a choice, and because a lot of people seem to think you have to transfer to a TBC server, let me clarify this for you just in case there's anything you don't understand. Our current servers, the ones you're playing on right now, is a progression server, meaning that that specific server, or all classic servers, will naturally progress into the Burning Crusade like an expansion. There will be new servers, which actually functions as a new downloadable client, which is the classic era servers. These will have the same server names, but it's a new downloadable game client, and to keep this simple and easy to understand, you can think of classic era as a brand new game. So when the TBC Prepatch comes out, you'll be met with a choice between staying on your current servers, which will naturally progress into the Burning Crusade as a regular expansion to the game, or you can play that character on the classic era servers. This is a decision you will have to make for each of your characters, and once you've made a decision, your character on the game client you did not choose will be grayed out and can be activated by paying for a character copy. The character decision is free in case you want to play the Burning Crusade or classic era servers, but if you want to do both, you will need to pay for that character copy or character clone. That service will cost you $35 per character you want to clone, and based on the information we have so far, you can technically choose to play the Burning Crusade Classic, and if you suddenly, 4 months down the line, also want to activate that character on Classic Era, you can still pay for that clone 4 months down the line. The character clone will be a clone of your character as of May 17th, the day before the Prepatch, or pretty much how your character looked when the servers went down for maintenance, as that is when the snapshot of your character is taken. So with that information out of the way, let's get back into the game content of the Prepatch. With the TBC Prepatch, we do get access to Blood Elves and Draenei, which means Hordes are getting access to Paladins, and Alliance are getting access to Shamans. And even though we are only getting 2 weeks of the TBC Prepatch to level up these new characters and races and classes, I do think that is doable with the reduced experience you need to level. Speaking of reduced experience required to level, that is another thing you should know for the Prepatch itself. Leveling from 1 to 60 is faster, because you need less experience per level, and there's also a lot more quests added to the game itself, as well as several new quest hubs as well. This means leveling in general will go faster, you will have more quests to complete in one go, there's less traveling back and forth in between zones, and in general you will have a much better time while leveling. Speaking of leveling, I also want to mention that I have recently partnered with Rested XP, which is a leveling guide add-on for Classic WoW, and Classic TBC as well, that is being developed by a bunch of high-profile names within the Classic WoW speedrunning community, including Tommy Salami, Tactics, Sarant, Seven Leaves, and Cargos as well. This guide will be a complete leveling guide for both Alliance and Horde. It's been in development for a long time and will be available starting May 17th. Which is just in time for the TBC Prepatch, and you can even pre-order the guide right now. You can also use it from level 1 to 30 for free, just to test it out before making a decision, and for those of you planning to boost a level 58 character with that paid boost, the level 58 to 60 portion will also be free to test out. So to check out that guide, make sure you use my affiliate link, which is in the description as well as a pinned comment. This is a leveling guide built on quality, and I honestly really do believe in this guide, because I know these guys are all about quality. The TBC Prepatch is also the perfect time to get into the game if you want to experience the social aspect of leveling, because a lot of players will be trying out and leveling these new races and new classes, and it's one of the rare opportunities you will have for a while to find actual dungeon groups for low level dungeons that aren't just mage boosts. Speaking of Mage boost, that's another thing I should talk about for the TBC pre-patch, and I'll go through this quickly. Basically, many AoE spells are damage capped in the TBC pre-patch, so for example Blizzard will deal a lot less damage, but will still have the same slow effect. This will slow down certain Mage boost pulls by a little bit, but experienced mages will weave in Flame Strikes in between their Blizzards, and because Flame Strike is not affected by the AoE cap, the effects of this AoE cap will be far less than people actually think. Now let's talk about the thing I will be spending the TBC pre-patch on myself, and that is gearing up characters to get ready for TBC. I have a lot of under-geared characters, and I'm even planning to use the level 58 boost on what could possibly be the class I end up maining in TBC Classic, so I will be spending the TBC pre-patch grinding Honor and Battleground marks to purchase the rank 14 PvP gear. Basically, the rank 14 PvP gear no longer requires rank 14 to purchase in the TBC pre-patch, so it's a really good way to secure yourself some pretty decent gear to use while leveling in TBC. Oh yeah, I have no clue why I haven't mentioned this yet, but in the TBC pre-patch we also do get access to a brand new profession. That is definitely important to know. So jewel crafting will become available in the TBC pre-patch, which lets those of you who want to skill up jewel crafting do so before TBC comes out. This means you might want to stock up on some ores and gems before the TBC pre-patch, so you're ready to go and get those skill points. Next up, level 58 boost will also become available with the TBC pre-patch, which means those of you who are planning to use that boost will have exactly 2 weeks to get those characters to level 60, which shouldn't really be a problem considering it's only 2 levels, but you will also want to skill up professions, which could include 2 gathering professions or crafting professions, both of which will either require time or gold to skill up, and I will also recommend skilling up first aid, fishing and cooking as well, just so you don't have to go back and do that in TBC. If you have some time left over, you can also grind some PvP and buy some rank 14 PvP gear as well. Basically, you get access to the level 58 boost and you will have exactly 2 weeks to get your character ready to step through the Dark Portal. So there it is guys, that is pretty much the video, and that's some of the things, if not all of the things, you should know about the TBC pre-patch. I have another video where I go through things you should not do until the TBC pre-patch, which might also be relevant to you, and I'll throw that video as a card at the end of this video so you can go and check it out, as I do give some TBC pre-patch info over there as well. I really do hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, remember to hit that like button for the YouTube algorithm, and make sure you subscribe to the channel as I will be uploading a lot more TBC content, and you don't want to miss it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again very soon.